The galaxy laughed at Earth, a small, blue planet barely noticed among the giants of space. Alien species called it weak, primitive, and unworthy of attention. Leaders from distant worlds made jokes about the humans, saying they could never survive. The dangers beyond their tiny planet, but deep inside hidden laboratories on Earth, humans were working on something no one could imagine. On the surface, Earth looked fragile, its oceans calm and cities quiet, yet beneath the soil, in secret, bunkers and high-tech labs, engineers and scientists were building a prototype unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It was a machine of power and intelligence, designed to protect the planet and the people, even if the universe refused to notice. Earth would not be helpless. Dr. Elena Maris, the chief scientist of the project, walked through the lab with a determined look. She examined glowing screens showing energy readings and alien signals. "Everything is ready," she whispered. "We only need the final test." Her assistant, a young engineer named Kiran, nodded nervously. "Do you really think the galaxy will take us seriously?" Elena's eyes burned with resolve. "They will have no choice," she said calmly. But her heart raced with the unknown. At that moment, the strange signals began appearing on Earth's outer satellites, faint, sharp, and unlike anything humans had detected before. The signals pulsed like a warning, moving closer with each passing hour. Elena and Kiran stared at the readings in silence, knowing this could be the moment the galaxy first noticed Earth, or the moment Earth would face danger it was not ready for. Meanwhile, far beyond Earth, in the cold expanse of space, alien fleets gathered. Monstrous ships, with jagged edges and glowing weapons, turned their attention toward the blue planet. The leaders of these species had laughed at Earth's insignificance, confident no human technology could challenge them. But something about the signals made the fleets pause. They had not expected a reply, not a warning, not a challenge. Back on Earth, humanity's leaders monitored the approaching danger. Panic and hope mixed in the control rooms. Elena's voice broke the silence. "This is what we built for. Stay calm. Trust the prototype." Kiran swallowed hard. "It looks like they're coming faster than we thought." Outside the lab, satellites blinked red as alien ships entered the edge of the solar system. No one knew what these creatures wanted. Only one thing was certain. Earth was no longer invisible. In cities around the world, people looked up at the sky, unaware of the true threat. Planes flew across quiet clouds. Birds continued their songs, and children played in parks. Earth seemed peaceful, but the danger was already here, lurking in the darkness between the stars. And the humans who had once been laughed at were ready to show the galaxy something. It had never expected. Elena watched the screens, her hand hovering over the prototype's activation console. "This is the moment," she said softly. "Either we prove them wrong, or we face the worst danger the galaxy can send." Kiran's eyes widened. "Are we ready for this?" Elena took a deep breath, staring at the approaching fleet. "We will be," she said, and with that, the silence of space was broken by signals that no one had ever heard. The first response from Earth, a planet mocked and dismissed, had begun. The alien fleets moved closer, dark silhouettes against the stars, each ship larger and more terrifying than anything humans had seen in simulations. Commanders from distant worlds laughed openly at Earth, sending messages full of mockery and disdain. "You are small, weak, and foolish," their signals said. "You will fall without a fight." But humans on Earth did not answer with words. They prepared with action inside the underground lab. Elena and her team worked tirelessly. The prototype hummed with growing energy, lights blinking as if it had a heartbeat of its own. Kiran adjusted the final circuits, hands shaking slightly. "Do you think it can really stop them?" he asked. Elena looked at him with steady eyes. "It is not just a machine. It is our hope. And humans never give up," she replied. Outside, satellites detected movement in the alien fleet. Ships shifting formation as if aware of Earth's unseen defenses. The signals from the unknown creatures were strange, almost alive, pulsing with a rhythm that made every scientist uneasy. Yet, the humans had learned something important. Even a small species could surprise the galaxy, and Earth had secrets the aliens could not imagine. In cities across the planet, life continued as usual, unaware of the looming threat. Planes crossed the sky, cars moved through crowded streets, children laughed in playgrounds, but in secret, bunkers, underground bases, and hidden labs, humans prepared for war. They activated sensors, armed prototypes, and ran simulations at speeds no alien fleet could detect. Every human was part of a plan that no one had dared to imagine. As the fleet entered the outer edge of the solar system, one ship moved ahead. Scanning with glowing eyes, it was enormous, with jagged metal that seemed to pierce the darkness of space. The aliens had not laughed this time. They were curious, cautious. Even the deadliest species in the galaxy could sense something different about Earth, something they could not understand back on Earth. Elena pressed a hand to the console, feeling the prototype's energy hum through her fingertips. "This is it," she whispered. "They are here." Kieran swallowed hard, watching the holographic projections of the incoming ships. "They are huge, and there are so many." Elena nodded. "And we are ready. The galaxy will remember this day." The tension was thick, the silence broken only by the soft hum of machines. Every second counted, and one wrong move could mean the end. The aliens sent probes toward Earth, sleek and fast, testing defenses. Missiles and energy pulses scanned the planet, but the humans' prototype responded instantly. Shields activated, lasers fired, and a strange wave of energy swept across the approaching ships. The first probe exploded silently in space, leaving a glowing scar against the darkness. The alien fleets paused, surprised by the sudden resistance. Earth, the planet they had mocked, had struck first. Elena watched the destruction on the screen, a small smile crossing her face. "This is only the beginning," she said. "They do not know what humans can do." Kieran nodded, awe and fear mixed in his eyes. "They are dangerous, but we are not weak." Outside, the stars seemed brighter, as if the universe itself held its breath for the first time. The galaxy realized that Earth was no longer just a small, helpless planet. It was a planet that could fight back, and far away, in the blackness of space, the alien commanders studied the humans. No longer mocking, no longer sure, Earth had shown a strength they did not expect, and the battle to prove humanity's worth in the galaxy was about to begin. The first alien ships entered Earth's solar system, their shadows stretching across the void. They were enormous, with jagged metal spines and glowing red cores, moving like predators. Even the most experienced human commanders felt a chill. This was no ordinary attack. This was something the galaxy called monsters. Elena and Kieran watched the live feeds from the orbital sensors. The prototype's energy grew, brighter, pulsating like a heartbeat. "They are here," Elena whispered. "And we are ready," Kieran nodded, his hands tight around the console. "I just hope our defenses are enough." But deep inside, both knew that humans had prepared not just with machines, but with courage. The first wave of alien scouts descended, moving faster than any human ship. Lasers shot across space, illuminating the darkness with blue and red light. The humans' prototype activated, sending a wave of energy that tore through the lead scout. It exploded silently, leaving a glowing trail behind. The aliens froze for a moment, confusion spreading through their ranks. No one had ever hit them like this before. On Earth, scientists and military leaders held their breath. Every eye was on the holographic maps of space, showing the deadly creatures moving closer. Elena's voice was calm, steady, yet filled with determination. "This is just the start. Humans will fight. Humans will survive." The alien fleets adjusted, sending more ships forward, sharper, faster, more lethal. The battle had begun, and for the first time, humans felt the thrill of the fight. Kieran pointed at the screen. "Look, they are changing their formation. They are cautious now." Elena smiled. "They are learning." Humans are always learning too, even with all their power. The aliens could not predict the humans' tactics. From underground bases, humans coordinated the defense, guiding energy pulses, missile strikes, and laser grids. Each move was precise, calculated, and bold. Earth was small, but it was proving it could defend itself. The monstrous ships fired back, energy beams slicing through space. Some hit satellites and debris, sending fragments into orbit. Yet the humans' prototype adapted instantly, absorbing energy, redirecting it, and striking back. It was like a living shield, protecting the planet. Elena watched as another scout exploded. "Yes, just like that," she murmured. Kieran looked at her, astonished. They cannot believe it. And indeed, the alien fleets were silent for the first time. unable to understand how a tiny planet could fight back. In orbit above Earth, humans launched the first counter-offensive. Small ships darted around the alien giants, striking weak points with daring speed. The monsters roared in their strange way, energy pulses flashing across space, but humans never gave up, their courage shining brighter than any weapon. Every move showed that the species once laughed at could now stand against the deadliest beings in the galaxy. Down on Earth, people continued their daily lives. Unaware of the battle above, children laughed, unaware their planet was fighting for respect in the stars. But in the hearts of every human watching the screens, hope and pride grew. Earth was no longer a planet to be ridiculed. It was a planet that could fight, a planet that could survive. And for the first time, the galaxy noticed humans were not weak. Far away, in the dark reaches of space, the alien commanders regrouped. No one had expected resistance like this. They were curious, cautious, and perhaps, for the first time, a little afraid. Earth had survived the first encounter, and the humans had shown a spark of something no alien could understand fully. They had shown humanity. The alien fleets circled Earth, their massive shapes blocking the stars. They had expected an easy victory, but every attack met resistance. The humans were clever, fast, and unpredictable, and for the first time, the monsters began to feel frustration. Inside the underground lab, Alina watched the battle unfold on her screens. The prototype glowed brighter than ever, energy flowing like rivers of light. "This is our chance," she said, turning to Kieran. "We need to strike where they least expect it." Kieran nodded, hands flying across the console. "Their formation is weak on the left flank. If we act now, we can cut their line." Alina smiled. "Humans don't just survive. We adapt." Above Earth, small human ships darted through the shadows of the alien giants. They moved with speed, striking precise points on the enemy hulls. Energy beams tore through armor, and alien ships exploded in silent flashes. The monsters roared, confused by the humans' daring. They had never faced a species that combined intelligence and courage so quickly. On Earth, scientists monitored the prototype as it expanded its power. Shields rose higher, energy waves rippled outward, pushing the alien fleet back. Humans used every advantage, speed, strategy, and the element of surprise, and every success fueled their courage. Every small victory made the alien commanders pause, reconsider, hesitate. Kieran pointed to the screen. "They're retreating on that side. We can push forward." Elena's eyes narrowed. "Not yet. We need to control the battle, not just win points." With careful precision, humans directed the prototype to send focused energy blasts, targeting the largest ships, disabling them without destroying them entirely. The monsters were stunned. This was not destruction. This was calculation. Humans were proving their intelligence matched their courage. In orbit, human ships struck again, dodging deadly lasers and counterattacks. Every pilot knew the stakes: Earth's survival, humanity's reputation in the galaxy. Yet fear never stopped them. Every maneuver showed that humans could be clever, daring, and relentless. On the surface, ordinary citizens stared at the night sky, unaware of the great battle above. But the world had changed in those moments, for Earth was no longer a small, ridiculed planet. It was a planet that could think, fight, and stand tall and far away. The deadliest species in the galaxy began to see humans in a new light. Alina activated the final sequence of the prototype, a move she had only dared once in simulations. Energy surged outward, forming a protective shield around the planet. Alien attacks bounced harmlessly, and several ships were forced to retreat. Damaged and confused, Kieran watched, awe written across his face. We did it." "They're falling back," Elena nodded. "They are learning, but the battle is not over. Humans will always fight for their home." For the first time, the galaxy witnessed a truth it had not expected. Earth was not weak, humanity was not defenseless, and even the deadliest creatures had to respect a species that could combine courage, intelligence, and strategy. The alien fleets paused, circling silently above the planet. They were no longer confident, no longer mocking. The humans had changed the battle in moments. An Earth's story had entered a new chapter, one of hope, courage, and strength. A chapter the galaxy would not forget. The alien fleets hung in the darkness above Earth, battered and confused. Their massive ships had been tested like never before. Even the deadliest species in the galaxy had underestimated the humans, and now they knew. Earth was not a planet to be laughed at. Alina watched the final readouts from the lab, her heart racing. The prototype hummed softly, energy flowing calmly after the storm. "We've done it," she whispered. "We showed them what humans are capable of." Kieran leaned back in his chair, awe and relief on his face. "They can't believe it, and neither can I." For the first time, humans had faced the galaxy's most terrifying forces and survived. Not just survived, but fought with courage, strategy, and unity in orbit. The alien commanders signaled a temporary retreat. They had seen the human strength, intelligence, and bravery for the first time in history. The galaxy's fiercest species gave respect to a small blue planet. They would remember Earth, and they would remember humans back on Earth. Life returned to normal, or at least it seemed normal. Children played, unaware that their planet had faced monsters from the stars. Cities continued their quiet routines, unaware of the courage and brilliance working underground. But humans knew, and humanity had changed. Earth was no longer fragile, no longer weak. It was a planet of survivors, of fighters, of thinkers. A planet that could hold its own among the stars. Alina stood on a balcony, looking up at the night sky. The stars seemed brighter, clearer, full of promise. "Today, we proved something important," she said softly to Kieran, "that humans are not small. We're clever, brave, and united, and no one will forget that again." Kieran nodded. "The galaxy will remember us, and I think we are only getting started." In the distance, the alien fleets disappeared into space. But their retreat was not shame, it was recognition. They had learned something humans had always known, that courage, intelligence, and heart could make even the smallest species strong. Even the most ridiculed planet could become a force to respect. And so Earth stood, scarred but proud. The humans who had once been laughed at now held the galaxy's attention. Their prototype had shown power, but it was their spirit that mattered most. And the story of Earth, the planet once mocked, would inspire generations to come. For humans had shown what it truly meant to survive, to fight, and to be remembered. Far away, other species whispered of the humans. They spoke with caution, curiosity, and a hint of respect. For the galaxy now knew a simple truth: never underestimate humanity, never mock a planet that refuses to stay small. And somewhere in the quiet of the night, Alina smiled. Earth had survived. Humans had won, and the adventure was far from over.